Hi guys and welcome to Horologique. I guess you had never seen a watch like this and neither had I before today. This is the FIYTA Space Shuttle and you might have not heard of FIYTA before. Here is a brand name, FIYTA, but they have been making watches since 1987 and most of their designs are actually of space-themed watches. You have some pretty nice offerings. You have a moon one that is made actually of gold and of other very cool materials. You have another one called the Space Rocket, but what brings us here today is this one, this specific one, the Space Shuttle, and you can see that Space Shuttle shape. You can see the actual Enterprise in there. And I will show you of course, as usual, the positives, the negatives, and after we will see what we can make of this watch. First of all, let's go to the dial of the watch. Of course, if we can call this a dial, the dial itself is composed of three main parts. As you can see, the bigger one being the Space Shuttle, where all the decoration is. It has no function at all. It is just a decorative piece. There's many versions. There are 5 versions actually. There's this white one that I requested because I very much like the watchwork decoration on that Space Shuttle dial. There's also a pink one with the same decorations, but there's much more classic ones, if we could say so here. There's a charcoal one and there's one with a silver one. And those are the 5 different options that you have here. Most of them share the same elements, stainless steel case, but only the gray and the silver have sapphire crystals. This one, as well as the other ones, have K9 hardened mineral crystal. We'll talk about that later. If we continue with the dial, you can see that the hour itself can be read in that well-like inner dial in there. Only the minutes are printed in there. The small hand is for the minutes and the thicker hand is for the hours. Let's see how it moves, because this watch has a quite impressive way of telling the time. You can see that not only the dial, the middle dial moves, but also the 3D side dial moves as well. It does tell the same hour as the one in the middle. I wish there would be a way for it to be a GMT with 2 independent hours, but yeah, this is what you get for now. And as you can see, when you get to the 12 is printed in red. Very cool motif, that one. The case is 316L steel, as usual. The crown, however, is in an unusual 2 o'clock position. I guess it is not to bury on your wrist, because this is a pretty consequential watch. Let's talk dimensions. This watch is a 45mm in diameter, but it is a logless design, so it is not as huge as that dimension would suggest. You've got, because of that really highly domed crystal, K9 mineral crystal in here, you've got a thickness of 14.7mm. It is all polished all over. There are no brushed surfaces here. And when you flip the watch, you can see that Miyota 8 series in there. It is an 8 series, but it is quite modified in order to be able to carry those complications, especially that 3D hour complication. As you can see, the good thing about that is that you can read the time from pretty much anywhere, and that is really very much a clear advantage of this watch. We have not talked about the bracelet, and that is a clear positive of this watch. It is one of the most comfortable FKM rubber straps that I have seen. It is really supple, really nice to the touch, and when you put it on, it is just amazing. Which leads me to talk to you about the wearing experience of this watch. Even though you've got a diameter of 45mm, the logless design and that beautiful, comfortable rubber strap makes that it wears really, really well on the wrist. You can see it here on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. It wears really comfortably and well. Let's talk positives and negatives. The positive is, well, the design. Either you're gonna love it or not like it at all, maybe, but I find this quite wacky and quite good, actually, if you're into this kind of space thing. There's also some function to the design with that very readable side profile reading of the hour. That is really, really well thought of, and I have not seen something like this before. Another positive point is the wearing experience. It is really comfortable on the wrist, and that is, I believe, mostly thanks to that amazing rubber strap. Very, very nice. Nice and all, but I wish that it had a quick release system, but it does not. Well, that is not too bad, especially at this price point. We'll talk price at the end of the video. The other negatives, the crystal. I mean, I know that to keep the price low, they couldn't put sapphire on all of these, but I mean, I would have preferred all of them to cost the $299 that the sapphire versions cost, instead of not putting sapphire in all of them. Another thing that some would consider quite negative is maybe the movement. You know, the 8 series are considered to be, yeah, quite pedestrian movements, but here it is modified and it is quite coherent with the price point, at least of the Kickstarter, of $249 with this version. That's been it for the review. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this watch, there's links in the description where you can get it for the Kickstarter campaign. Better to get them if you like them while they are cheaper, of course. They have smashed that target, so you can go ahead and buy them confidently. This watch will be made. Thank you very much, and I'll be seeing you very soon. Goodbye.